Hello, welcome to Africa. This week, our worker Sadiq Ibrahim. In today's episode, we are going to discuss the Nigeria Labour Congress strike demanding for minimum wage for Nigeria workers. I have the chairman of Kogi State Council of Nigeria Labour Congress, Comrade Gabriel Amari. You're welcome to Africa this week, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to start with asking you, you guys have been on strike, demanding for minimum wage for Nigeria's civil servant or workers. This thing has been looming since the pending strike, whatever you call it. The ground has been laid since November 2023. Is that correct? Yeah. Because you wanted to go on strike at that time. You didn't manifest. Now has come and it's not gone yet. There's a suspension. There is what you call stop striking. You strike, on strike, since June 1st, 2nd, because you could not arrive at a consensus wages to be paid to Nigerian workers, including several meetings, tripartite, the independent labor organizations, social like industries and so on, private sectors, the federal government, and your organization, Nigerian Labour Congress, and TUC, Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. He broke down, and he went ahead and engaged an indefinite strike. Within 2 days, you suspended. Give us the background, what led to this strike by yourself. We are speaking to the outside world of Nigeria entirely. Can you speak to us, Comrade, about what happened and the suspensions and whatever you call it, whether you are going to be back in a week time? The President of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has given 48 hours to his Minister of Finance and the coordinator of economy. Gave him 48 hours to come up with something that will be suitable to you guys. It's been a show of force. You have done it. How is it so far?
Thank you very much. As we're all aware that the 30,000 naira minimum wage come to expire after 5 years, according to the law. The law that gives birth to 30,000 minimum wage is to place it there clearly that it expires after 5 years. It has been enacted by the National Assembly. So the federal government knows that every 5 years, a new minimum wage is to be given to the workers of Nigeria. The labor body engaged them, and that's what led to the tripartite committee that involved both government, labor, and the private sector. And then the labor gave the government an ultimatum that there must be conclusion on the wage, new minimum wage, to be approved and given to Nigerian workers. Latest 31st May 2024. Because the hope of our Nigerians was that the very day we celebrated Workers' Day, which is May 1st, 2024, the President of this country will come out to announce the new minimum wage. But the committee could not conclude their job as at that time. And they were demanding for additional 2 months. It is then the leadership of organized labor said, no, that is unacceptable. And with other pranks coming into play within the committee. The leadership saw that there is no seriousness in government, and they threatened to back out. But with plea, they came back to the round table again to continue the negotiation. But they could not meet up the deadline given by organized labor, which is 31st May 2024. One leg to the industrial action. That was not only. There are three issues combined together. The failure of federal government to conclude negotiation and announce minimum wage is one of the reasons. Secondly, the refusal of federal government to revise the hike in electricity tariff is another reason, which led the organized labor to organize one-day picketing on all the offices of electricity division companies, including the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission offices throughout the federation. The federal government still remains adamant to revise the hike. Thirdly, categorization of Nigerians into bands were also part of the issue put before the government for the reversal. That we're all Nigerians. Why would we be categorized into various bands? You are band A, band B, band C, band C. One some were enjoying electricity, the other one are not there. So the organized labor come out to say, look, let Nigerians be treated as one. Let us be treated as one Nigerian, as one entity. Why categorizing Nigerians before they can enjoy electricity? So these three issues put together led to the organized labor to declare indefinite strike, which commenced on the 3rd of June.
But when the problem is, we went on 60,000 minimum wage conclusion from the federal government of Nigeria. We set up what the first amount, 50 something, 54. The federal government went to 50,000 or 54,000. They went to 60, and still that is not enough. It looks like the issue of the minimum wage has dominated the talks and the harps from the labor union as the electricity tariff you just mentioned has not even been highlighted during the conversations that led to it, because it looks like it was dying down, which analysts feel that it's a money illusion.
It's not dying down. In the first place, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu promised Nigeria a living wage. He promised Nigeria a living wage. And you need to know that there is a clear difference between a living wage and a minimum wage. And that is why the leadership of organized labor in this country designed a template and sent it to the 36 states, including MCT, to gather information from workers. What does it take a family to live?
That's a living wage.
Yeah. Then, a family of 6 was sampled. That is a mother, a father, and 4 dependents. These were taken into, every aspect of life was taken into consideration. The feeding, what does it take to feed 6 people in a home? What does it take to clothe 6 people in a home? What does it take as transportation, accommodation, health care, schools, and what have you? And that was why labor arrived at 617,000 naira as minimum wage. If really the federal government is ready to give what's called living wage. The living wage is what will keep a family living from what they are earning, and not just minimum wage. Why Nigeria? Some of Nigeria were saying labor are demanding too high, How can you compare it to somebody who's taking 29 million naira in a month? Who's demanding high? Who's taking high? And we all go to the same market? In the same country? There are workers today that will work for 35 years and retire. All their salary put together is only 29 million naira. So who is demanding high? So labor went to that level of being transparent, and that is why they tell government, look, what led to this of 48,000 naira you are approving? Tell us, tell the public. We have already told the public how we arrive at 617,000 naira as minimum wage. Tell us how we arrive at 48. They thought it's in fact they took the committee work as a child play. They went further to say 54,000 naira and probably end up at 60,000 naira.
Yes.
Now, today, let us ask ourselves this question and be sincere. Even those ones that are offering 60,000 naira as minimum wage, give it to them. Is it enough for them to feed their family? The 60,000 naira the federal government is awarding to Nigerian workers. That 60,000 naira cannot buy a bag of rice. A bag of rice in the market today is 70,000 naira. Is the government of Nigeria being sincere to Nigerian workers?
But
they are not. They are not. In most of the West African countries today, where we belong to, I think Nigeria is the least paid. And most of the country review their minimum wage for their workers every 2 years, some even every year. Based on the economy of the country. But you can see that he removed fuel subsidy. This is supposed to translate in higher wage.
But in Nigeria, there's supposed to be wage review every 20, 25 years. Is that correct?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
That's recent.
Yes, it was enacted. That was why the one they awarded in 2019, if we count it, 2019 to 2023, it has expired. So we are supposed to have new wage as at 2024. And Labour keep on informing them before time. The leadership of organized Labour keep on informing the government before the time.
But one of the arguments the federal government advanced is that not only what you are arguing is for the federal government employees, the workers working for civil servants, working for federal government.
Yes.
Because what you have argued, as you mentioned earlier, there was a problem with how do you call it, the 30,000 naira minimum wage that was increased some time ago. Some states have not affected it. Then number two, they do ask the private sectors. A lot of people are going to be laid off and dropped from employment. What's your argument about that? They will not be able to afford it.
Before now. Even that is why the committee is called tripartite.
Yes.
It is not just government and labor alone. The private sector were involved. And let me tell you one good thing. As we are talking about the 30,000 minimum that some state has not implemented, is a problem.
Yes.
We even see we've noticed that, and we envisage that in this new wage, and that is why the governors are part of that committee. The 6 geopolitical zones were represented. Each zone has a governor in that committee. And at the end of discussion, they always go back to bring other governors in their various zones. So whatever the government is coming out today as minimum wage is jointly a decision of both the federal government, the state governor, and the private sector.
Comrade Amari.
I'm listening.
Now, there is this concept of suspension, stop, relaxing the strike.
Yeah.
Which one is for the Nigerian Labour Congress? Are you relaxing? Are you suspending? Are you stopping? And when are you going to stop it?
Thank you very much. You see, the language you have just used now, they are all synonymous.
Synonymous?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And people do use those languages interchangeably. It's not. But the one we are going with as organized labor is that we are relaxing the strike action. What does that mean? So in case they fail their 1 week promise, we'll just continue. We'll just continue. That's what it means.
No notification.
Already we have told them. That's why we say we relax. Give room for continuation in the discussion, which we hope.
Let's be fair to this government. Yeah. The man listens when there's too much noise.
Yes.
Or too much demand.
I think that was the reason. That was the reason he gave 48 hours to Minister of Finance.
He never used
to come up with the template.
You know, how do you call it? Some countries they use military action to suppress.
But we are in the democracy. We are in democracy. So you have to listen to the masses.
So what's your expectation? You are looking for a 400 and something, 494 thousand as minimum wage for the workers in this country. Now, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, whatever is, he has agreed these relaxations or suspension we are going to discuss. Has given
48 hours.
No, apart from even 48 hours, he said every day, our workers is every day will be meeting within this 1 week of hold on period to interrogate what is going to be the next line of actions or the money that's supposed to be paid as minimum wage to Nigerian workers. Now, what do you want? What amount do you have in mind? Some people have speculated 100,000, 150,000. What do you have in mind? What are you guys discussing at the moment? That when you meet the federal government and he said, this amount, are you going to do?
Thank you very much. Okay. As you know, even before coming here, that I'm not a member of that committee. I am just a state chairman. And I always take directive from the national body, that is from my president. Though I'm a member of the National Executive Council, but I'm not a member of the committee. Sitting down in Kogi State here, or in Lokoja, to be specific, that I suspect this amount. I'm only lying to you and deceiving the public. But one thing I know that have led to the relax of this strike action is that, one, the government has agreed that they will go higher than the earlier 60,000 naira they tend to offer. Secondly, they equally said they will conclude within 1 week as against the 2 months they were proposing. So that 2 gain is enough for us to listen to Nigeria that this 2-day strike has caused so much side effects on the economy and bring more hardship on the people. So we have to listen and relax the action to pave way so that our leadership will continue with the talk with the government. So, sitting down in Lokoja here and tell you that this is what I expect to do, but you know, that's one thing I don't believe, and I believe in the leadership of organized labor, especially my president, Comrade Gabriel. I give him all the respect. He's a labor leader to the core. We're all human beings and we're all Nigerians. I know that at the end of the day, both the labor and the government will agree on 2 things: affordability and sustainability. They will all agree on what will be affordable and what will be sustained throughout the state of the federation, so that the workers, once again, will be happy with the government and the government will have to work.
I commended you when I started this interview with you, that there was a show of force. And a lot of people do not like, or didn't like how the force you have taken to, you went, I don't know which, either all of them are labor union, including the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. They went and shut down the national grid. A lot of people did not like it. Probably that forced the government to renegotiate or rethink and let us go and discuss more, because a lot is going to happen. As you stated earlier, some people could not even fetch water. Some people could not even have some other little amenities to take care of their homes. They're already a 2-day stay.
Yeah,
that's why they show force. And people threaten that if anything happens, you go after the national grid anymore. And they gave some examples of some countries that if you dare do that, probably you might not live to tell the story. What's your take?
Then the government should not dare the workers of Nigeria. They should not. When we talk about social, total shutdown, what do you expect to be functioning? Virtually nothing is supposed to be functioning. It's nothing that has been given to them. Total shutdown. So nothing is supposed to be spared. They only make that threat. They cannot do anything. Let them dare workers who will come up with what is even more dangerous than what they have just seen. You see, I don't know why in a country where we belong to this country, we hold the country together, some set of people, because they are privileged to be in government, they want to oppress the masses. You know that what we are doing today is not just for the Nigerian workers alone, but for the entire masses of Nigeria. We are the only one that can speak for the masses. An individual today cannot come and challenge the government. That is why when there is hardship, when there is trouble in the country, the people will say, "Oh, labor help us, labor help us." So they are only threatening. They can't dare it. If you don't want them, if you don't want labor to shut down the national grid, don't make us. Don't push us to the wall. They have pushed labor to the wall.
Do you expect inflation?
So they should expect fight back. So we hold the country together. They can't do anything. It's a threat.
What are you guys going to do about the inflation that go to the resulting effect?
Thank you very much. You see,
that increase.
When
people
talk about inflation, sir, let me ask you this question too. The last minimum wage was 2019. There is no increment in salary since 2019. But if you look at from 2022 to date, is there an increment in salary? The worst happened between 2023 and 2024, even when there is no increment in salary. So the increment in salary, people don't think that if there is increment in salary, there is inflation. There is no increment in salary, there is inflation already. So how will you say the increment in salary will be the one to cause inflation?
I think the worst we have ever seen so far, except during the military era.
True. So what we are saying is, people don't take inventory of what happened in this country. Sir, if you remember, since the announcement of removal of subsidy, things changed in this country. You know why? The area of transportation alone is killing Nigerians. Go to the rural area, you will buy food worth 5,000, worth 10,000 naira. The transportation alone that will take you to the town where you want to sell this food will be up to 50,000 naira. If you ask, they say yes. They are buying fuel at a very high cost. They are buying diesel, especially those vehicles that are being powered by diesel. You know how much they sell diesel? 1,600, 1,500 per liter. And that is why you see most business has closed down. Most hotels cannot function any longer. All those banks that has 2-3 branches in the city, they cannot operate again. They cannot manage them. They collapse to the one. Why? Because of the cost.
Very busy schedule ahead of you. But let me ask you this. In November 2023, you were talking about strike You gave reasons why you wanted to go on strike at that time. Pensioners' issues were on your agenda. Wages are going to be increased by the demand from the Nigerian Labour Congress. For workers, what happened to, I know it might not be your department, what happened to Nigerian pensioners? That one is look like it's forgotten.
No, it's not.
Nobody said anything.
No. If you follow us very well in Kogi State, and I know it goes round the
I'm talking about increment.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Not paying regularly. I'm talking about.
Waiting.
Okay.
Do you know the Nigerian Union of Pensioners are affiliates of NLC?
Yes.
Yeah. So we cannot discuss about workers without discussing pensioners. So their issue were discussed. In fact, it's one of their items we tender to government that pensioners, they are not to enjoy minimum wage, but what they are to enjoy is harmonization. Once there's any increment in wage, once there's any new new minimum wage approved for workers, what happens to pensioners is harmonization. So their demand is captured in the overall chart of demand of workers, harmonization for pensioners. So we carry them along.
How about consequential adjustment? Is that what we are discussing now? Because
no.
When you give a person on level 1, level 2, level 3, increment in salary or in wages, there are other senior staff or employees of the government or in private sectors. What are you going to do with those people? Because when your senior or your junior is going to be receiving $100,000, naira, and you, where you are before, maybe level 10, 13, and so on, and this guy has already joined you, very closer to you, for your monthly intake. What are you going to do? Are you thinking about that? I mean, that's going to happen. Consequential adjustment. Will it be among the things you guys are demanding at the moment?
Consequential adjustment, that's what we're talking about.
They were trying to do that before. People don't like it. Say, we don't like it. We are talking about minimum wage.
No. As per the 30,000 minimum wage, there are consequential adjustments for level 7 and above. There are consequential adjustments for level 7 and above, and they are categorized into percentage. We have 23.9%, we have 20%, we have 15%, and we have 14% that it is graduated to.
I've been speaking with Comrade Gabriel Amari, the Kogi Council of Nigerian Labour Congress. He's been talking on the, currently suspended strike action against the federal government of Nigeria over minimum wage to be paid to workers in this country. Comrade, I'd like to thank you for taking your time from your busy schedule to talk to Africa this week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm Abubakar Sadiq Ibrahim. Join us next week as more Africa events unfold.